Al Heyman is suffocating boxing fans so he can put his stronghold over boxing. Al Heyman is doing all of this just to have the most control over boxing that he can possibly have. And if he has to suffocate and drown out the boxing fans to do it, he will do it. That's what we're witnessing, and that is what's been going on. Let's check the books. Let's do the homework. Okay? The biggest fights that we could have seen and that should have been made have not been made due to this tactic. Okay? You have Deontay Wilder, 120 million offered. Let's not get into the 50 million. Okay? Let's go on the last 3 times. And as of lately, Shelly Finkel has revealed once again that Team Eddie and Joshua has reached out to them to make a fight, and they have not answered back. This was recently said to add on top of the 3 other times that Deontay Wilder revealed that he could have fought Anthony Joshua instead of Tyson Fury because the offer was out there, but he chose to do something different. As far as what we know, and I'm pretty positive in saying it, 120 million, Deontay Wilder, career high payday. Let's keep going. Luis Ortiz was offered 8 million to fight Anthony Joshua. Didn't accept it, turned it down, turned it away. Once again, for Luis Ortiz, that was a career high payday. Let's keep going. Jamal Charlo was offered 7 million from Eddie Hearn, which will be, to this day, a career high payday. Turned it down, didn't get to see it. Okay, the list goes on. So what are you seeing when it comes to making the biggest fights in boxing, and when it comes to these fighters getting a career high payday? It doesn't get any attention over there at PBC, and it does not happen. Not only does he deny you from getting the biggest fights that you can get inside of boxing, he also denies them the biggest paydays that they could get. Now, the heavyweight division is known as the crown jewel of boxing. A lot of people say when the heavyweight division dies, so does boxing. And for the most part, that is what happened. But the heavyweight division has always been the crown jewel of boxing because it is the casual division. So if you want boxing to flourish, you can know boxing is doing well when the heavyweight division is doing well. With that being said, what was the biggest heavyweight fight that we could have got as of lately? Okay, what was the biggest heavyweight matchup that we could have seen, that could have been made, that would have been good for boxing, that would have put eyes back on the sport, that would have had the interest of the entire world? What fight was that? Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Simple. You didn't get that. Why am I pointing this out? Because the heavyweight division is the crown jewel of boxing. Okay, you want to have a good heavyweight division because it will trickle down to all the other divisions. That's how you know boxing is doing well. If we didn't get the most biggest fight in boxing in the heavyweight division, then it's no doubt that any other divisions will be treated similar. Because if you can't show urgency and the importance of giving fight fans what they want in the heavyweight division, you're most definitely not concerned about giving it to them in any other division. Fast forward, what is the next biggest fight in boxing right now? Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. Okay, and what is currently happening right now? The same thing that happened with the Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight. One of the biggest fights in the world where we can clearly see the money is there, but the fight does not get made. Why? Because at the end of the day, Al Heyman wants a stronghold on boxing. And if he has to suffocate the boxing fan to get the leverage that he wants over everybody else that's playing inside that game, inside that arena he's in, that's exactly what he's going to do. And he does not care if you're happy, unhappy, or not. He's going to do what he wants to do because at the end of the day, Al Hammond wants control over everything. That's the only reason he's doing what he's doing. Because when you think about it, David Benavidez and Charlo, David Benavidez and Caleb Plant and Charlo, these are fights that could have been made up under the PBC umbrella. All the hot fights, all the fights that mean anything in boxing, those are the main fights that Al Hammond does not want to give you. And if you haven't figured this out by now, just use deductive reasoning and go back and pay attention to what you've been witnessing. Pay attention to what they've been selling you. The Gervonta Davis, Rolly Romero's, the Deontay Wilder, Helenius, the Caleb Plants, Darrell. Just look at what they're trying to sell you. This is subpar level boxing matchup that they could make over there at PBC. If you have the premier champions, how come we don't see any premier champions and premier championship fights? Show me a matchup that lives up to the moniker Premier Boxing Champions. Show me a matchup like that. They haven't given you this colossal matchup yet. And they have some of the biggest and the best names. But they're giving you subpar fights. They're still underutilizing Deontay Wilder. They're still underutilizing Gervonta Tank Davis. They're still underutilizing Errol Spence. They're still doing it. But the last thing that they want to give you is the big fights that's actually going to mean something. Because Al Hammond hasn't got the control over the situation in boxing like he wants to. So if he has to drown you out, if he has to kill your boxing spirit to get that stronghold, he's going to do it. Now, the question I have to ask for you is this. When they don't deliver this fight this year, and I told you you're not going to get this fight this year. When they don't deliver this fight this year, as you as a boxing fan or supporter of PBC or whatever and whatnot, do you actually mean to tell me that they're actually going to get you to go inside your pocket to pay for another pay-per-view that you have no interest in, regardless of the fact the one that you are interested in, they're not trying to entertain or give you anything that you want? You know that by the way they lowballed it. Terrence Bud Crawford. They wanted Terrence Bud Crawford to walk away. The problem is he didn't walk away. That's the problem. The problem is he accepted it. Now they're at a standstill like, oh shit. That's really what happened. Now they're at a standstill like, oh shit, he accepted that? Fuck, well, what we gonna do now? Because at the end of the day, the demographic that falls behind this fight, Al Hammond doesn't care or have no interest in. Okay? He doesn't believe in the supporters of Errol Spence. He doesn't believe you guys. If there's any little bit of a risk, Al Hammond is not taking it. Why? Because to Al Hammond, his risk has already been taken. When did he take it? When he's been overpaying these fighters for fights that was no good. That's why he doesn't have this money to put up on them. You want to know why? Because he's overpaid them from Jump Street. So he's not going to overpay them and take a gamble. He's not going to doing that. He's not doing that because he did what he did for a reason. He wanted to keep them content enough to the point where they shut up, to where they all obey, to where they all pay homage to Al Hammond. No matter if the world is crashing down around him, they want them to have faith in Al Hammond and what he's done, because look at how I've taken care of you. Look how I have paid you when you haven't deserved it. He did that. So in the future, if there is anything, you won't step out of line or step out of pocket when he goes to try to pull these power moves over on the rest of these guys. The main thing over there at PBC was to have them boxers in a zombie-like state of worship. And that's what he accomplished. And as soon as he accomplished that, he said, I can do whatever I want in the boxing game. Fuck the fans. You guys are going to do what I want. So this is how he can get them to turn down career high paydays, legacy fights, and everything else. You can say a lot of stuff about Al Haymon, but Al Haymon is not stupid, arrogant, asshole, rude, obnoxious, whatever. You call him anything, but he's not dumb. He's not. It's just that at the end of the day, fans, we don't give a shit about your money. We don't give a shit about what you do. We don't give a shit about how you go about doing your business. At the end of the day, just supply the product that the people want to see. And that's where Al Haymon falls in bad blood with the boxing fan. Because it's like the boxing fan and the PBC fans, you have to admit, they have been patient with this formula. They have been patient with Al Haymon. They have believed in Al Haymon. They tried to see the vision. They tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? They recognize that people are more on Al Haymon because of what he looks like versus what he does. So they've been giving him the benefit of the doubt. But now it's just blowing back up in their face too bad. And it's too much smoke and they can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? So they got to air it out and let the truth be known. And the truth is, when PBC asks you to dig down in your pocket for a Keith Thurman, Errol Spence fight, is you going to do it? Because if you do, that determines and tell you why, if you get the fights and why you don't get the fights. Because if you choose to still support PBC when they have been not delivering and give you what you want and the product you need as a consumer, and you keep feeding them, they have no incentive to do anything that you want. Like, comment, subscribe. Bruce Fan, I'm out.